Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back. We have got a new stream today. Let's see here. I didn't bother testing my audio, so you have to tell me how I sound compared to the music. Sounds a little loud on my end. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah. So today, if you don't recognize this soundtrack, we are playing PigFingers, which is a very strange campaign. Came out of nowhere. Guy never made something again, and it is a bizarre combination of high quality and like not bad visuals, but it's like they're clearly going for something. It's very interesting. Hey Zaya, alright, let me know what my volume sounds like in comparison to music, because it's a pain in the ass for me to test it. Just figure you guys can give me your opinions. Yeah, I think his name was Awareness who made this, and yeah, he just kind of came out of nowhere. So turn the music down a little bit. All right, let's give it something like that. Maybe bump me up a bit. I need to like screen cap the levels at one point so I can remember to set them the correct way. But, you know, one day. So, yeah. First things first, this doesn't take place in Miami, which is nice. It takes place in Scotland, if I remember correctly. I can't do their accent. Did something happen to your mic? It sounds a bit staticky. Oh, hey, I could donate now? Indeed, I have finally been approved for monetization. So far, I've made a whole 2 cents off ads, but super chats are available, so give me money if you want. I mean, technically it'll go towards me getting my PC in August, so send me money. So hopefully my mic sounds better. I'll unplug it and plug it back in. So it doesn't sound like I'm streaming with my head out the window. Alright, so yeah, so as soon as you, like, if you haven't played this, like, at first glance you might go, oh, this is a pretty boring campaign, or this is a poorly made campaign. Yo, hey Plank. But it's not. It's a very well-made campaign, but it's a strange thing. Mostly because of the art style, which is this very bland sort of thing. It's very empty. This has got more stuff in it than most of the main levels here, furniture-wise. Delicious desktop, yeah. I'll figure it out eventually. I keep putting it off. Now that I'm making some money, technically, I might actually be prompted to have some more high-quality streams. I mean, this thing even has clickable triggers. Very little as clickable triggers. But as we did with last campaign, Requiem, we start out with Winchman, our little white henchman, his recolored car. The levels are very barren and empty, but the way the dude made cutscenes is incredible. And the story is actually good and great. I feel like it's intentional. The only thing that I can base off Scotland from is train spotting. Okay, I can barely hear this music. Is train spotting. And yeah, I imagine Scotland is pretty barren. But yeah, one thing about not having a ton of furniture and having a bit more open levels is that you can really fly through them without getting caught on anything. And so if you have any sort of skill at this game, you can go through. And the last levels do actually get pretty tough in what you have to do. But yeah, it's funny. Sometimes it's just like a shelf with like a bean can on it, and that's the one piece of furniture the next 3 rooms will get. My favorite track was Tin Soldiers. I've actually, this is gonna be the first time I've played it with the soundtrack. I watched Blue's playthrough of it with the soundtrack, and it sort of fits, sort of doesn't. According to the guy, the whole reason the campaign exists is because he liked the soundtrack so much. But it's very different compared to your usual Hotline Miami soundtrack of just dark synth. Like most custom campaigns just rely on dark synth. And so it was a nice change of pace. And this level's so easy that it is kind of like with the music. I can barely hear it. Let's see here. Yeah, you're just kind of strolling through. There's the Scotland flag. I'll translate, Rob. Give me all your money. That's what I said in the description. Yeah, neo jazz is totally unheard of in the campaign. I guess that's the genre, neo jazz. That I could agree with that. That'll work. Okay, last words. I like how he makes fun of him for doing the whole last words before shooting the bad guy, or shooting the dude. And you can tell this is made from a dude from Europe because it doesn't have the right apostrophes. Ah, fuck. That was a mistake. I just hit it at him. You're supposed to wait. You're not supposed to hit R. Also has that thing where the title screen will play over certain cutscenes. That always annoys me. But I think it's from when you don't have a you have an intro and a main but no outro. Yeah, it's an endless loop I'll never escape. And the face, I appreciate that they made an effort to like have all unique faces, even if they are just recolored and Frankensteined faces from the main game. Like this is Dennis without piercings. This is Petrov with Pardo hair. And it works. He looks pretty damn Scottish. It's when you don't have an outro. Okay, yeah. Alright. Yes, and this takes place like right before the. I can't remember. I probably should have be reading this better, but it takes place like after America gets nuked. It's one of those like in lore things, but it's like the world wasn't wiped out with nukes, just America or something. But yeah, like the color scheme doesn't get any more colorful really than this, but it works for this campaign. It works. Oh, there's Pardo. What was this version of Pardo's name? I think it was like Pardo, or Manio Pardo. It's after the nukes, yeah. So, but in other countries, it's just gangs and mafia going back and forth. Okay, something to offer you. I'm not good at voices, so I never like read over these. Common decency, of course. This is actually a really cool version of Pardo, especially the end. Like, it is actually a bit bizarre and scary. I think my card's over here, actually. Okay, there we go. All of these levels still look better than Abyss from the main game. They're about the same. Abyss has got a lot of custom assets in it that like only showed up in Abyss. I think I'm just gonna roll a shotgun. I love the hammer execution here. He just like does it with his fist. It's funny how if you change like the sprites of the animation, despite not being able to change how long it takes, it feels faster because there's more movement going on in those frames. Because that stomp is so boring. It drives me nuts. Yeah, I like Abyss. I like all the hobos. Like that alone took a lot of work, I'm sure, to design all those hobos doing different things, the different masks. Yeah, Abyss was a good. I think Abyss was a good one. Abyss, aka no 50B fanfic, please. Yeah, 50B. Like it kind of shows that their whole bunker idea completely fucking failed. And by 91, it was they're just non-existent already. This is also one of the very few campaigns that gets away with using the shiny Deathwish tiles, and it looks nice. But this campaign really does a good job of showing that like you don't have to put a ton of thought into the visuals and fill every single room with a bunch of different things. If you have a nice layout, it can be fun. You don't need to have the most beautiful thing, because what's so nice about not having items everywhere is you can really move, and that's a problem with a lot of the workshop stuff, is that moving is an issue compared to the main game. There's very few spots where you get like stuck in the main game, whereas a lot of times the reason Fats and Dodgers are so scary and level editor stuff is because you don't have enough hallway to backtrack in. Well, aesthetically, it's closer to Hotline Miami 2. Yeah, when you look at it, Hotline Miami 2 definitely doesn't have as many flashy environments as the first game. The first game was all flashy, like 80s stereotype, whereas their desire to like make the second game more like the real world, more grounded. You get a bunch of sewers. Well, I like the sewers. They're Ninja Turtle sewers with the purple. Alright, SF. He likes to use that beard. I think it's used quite a bit. And yeah, just the fact that you're able to get these cutscenes where you shoot the dude to work. It's nice, but later on you're gonna see some crazy shit. And I think I figured out. I'll try to ruin the magic of them for you by explaining how they've gotten them to work. I think I figured it out, but they're incredibly clever. Other than the fact that the fans just don't care that people getting melted in tubs of acid. Yeah, it disappointed me because I thought when I first played it, I was like, ooh, this is a turning point that Hotline Miami is like Hotline Miami 2 is finally going someplace narrative-wise that. Like they've uncovered something fucked up, and they're like, "Now let's get pizza, fix the truck. Who cares?" But the other thing is the song is just not fun. the We're Sorry, where it's just a bunch of like spooky noises overlaid on each other. Probably one of my least favorite songs. Is just not really fun to listen to on loop. Yeah, Hotline Miami 2 levels aren't nearly as over-detailed custom stuff. Yeah, that too. going back and playing the main game, you'll realize just how different it looks compared to something like, I guess like the poster boy would be Red Star. It's the most pretty looking level editor thing. But I think the simplicity, like works. It doesn't have to be full of stuff. And I feel like more people should look at this campaign as what to base their work around. Not only because I think it's a more realistic standard, but also it just plays better than like Red Star. Like these all have soldier cam. Or a lot of them do. These PigFinger levels, they run very nicely, and it's because they're very simple. Okay, he's changing the car spawn up here on me. It's an ambient track that fits the sewer level well. Yeah, well, its spookiness made me think that something more was up. Yeah, like the characters even hold phones up to their ear. Like no one did this before these guys. You can't put stuff outside the level borders of soldier cam. Yeah. One of Ross's boys. Yeah, PigFingers is great for my craft top. Yeah. I think this is one of the levels that use shoulder cam. I need to... Once they give me control, I'll fuck around with it. Yeah, it does, but it's so it has like ocean. And it doesn't even have sand, but I don't know, it works because of its simplicity. I think it's more simple than Hotline Miami 2. Like, you didn't see this in the second game. You had a little bit more than this. And it's more like it just conveys the idea of where you are than like actually shows it to you. It's like, this is a storage room. So here's a bunch of storage containers. And like you fill the rest in with your imagination, which you always have to do with these like pixel art games. But this is just more so than a lot of others. He didn't even like bother changing the colors of them, and I think it works, keeping them all the same color here. I don't know why. Probably because it doesn't look like a mishmash of like unfitting colors. It's just, you know, orange containers. Oops. A lot of people complain about my like of decorative furniture, but it's like but it like frustrates me because I start getting caught on stuff after adding them. I'm trying to decipher what that says. I mean, if you're talking about people complain about your simplistic furniture, there's definitely a way to do it. It's not simply just, oh, put only one thing in this hall. You have to, like, choose the right item to convey the meaning of the room, like the most important object, plus its location. It's usually, like, at the end here. It doesn't get in the way. If that makes any sense. People are still mad about how hard Ranger it. I made it. Yeah. I saw that, people being like, oh, you have to bait, which, I think we were talking about this in my Discord recently, is doing, let me see if I can find an example. Baiting isn't inherently bad, it kind of depends on how tedious it is. God damn it. It depends on how long between when you get their attention and when you kill them it is. So, like, with Ranger, like, that's probably too long of a bait, but the way that Ranger had it is you could, like, just circle it, just circle the corner, and by the time you finish your circle, they're there, and you can thwack them with the bat. And I really wouldn't call that baiting. Like, baiting's when you're, like, as a coward, just, like, trying to get someone across the room, then wait here, and then smack them. And if you're doing something like, hey, gotcha, whack, and that's how Ranger can play. Your other choice is just be really accurate with throwing shit. It's a lot easier. But yeah, some people complained about that. I think the editors just spoil people. People haven't gone back to the main game. A lot of people still don't like the main game's level design. And my theory about why people didn't like the second game's level design and like harder level editor stuff is the first game is not a hard game. Once you learn the controls of the first game, it's not hard. It's just, I mean, really the fact that the game controls kind of like ass is what makes it hard. But as like a level design standpoint, not hard at all. So, but everyone and their mother calls it one of those hard games because, oh, it kills you in one hit. But I mean, not really. Also, this alarm in this soundtrack sounds just like the fire alarm. That was freaking me out when I first was like watching the video. Anyways, yeah, so people who are good at the first game convince themselves, oh, I'm good at Hotline Miami, and they're really not. They've just got the controls down. And so when they go against something that's actually hard, when they hit Death Wish, and they're getting their ass kicked, they go, well, this is terrible level design. This sucks. You know why this sucks? Because I'm doing bad at it, and I'm good at Hotline Miami. When in reality, they're not. They're good at the first game, and that's not easy. Or that's not difficult to be good at the first game. Yeah, throwing weapons how I want a Ranger to play. I don't like hard mode levels. Yeah, well, Zaya, you're not very good at this game, as we've learned. And they're like, it's just the harder something is, like with hard mode, what's nice is that the like the skill ceiling is pushed up higher. So, like the first game, if I don't play this first game over and over again because I've kind of reached that. It's really not that hard to go through it. You pick up a knife and you can full combo full floors really easily because of how close everything's set together. And you can't do that with the second game because the skill ceiling's a lot higher. You actually have to like dodge weapons, throw things, like you actually have to be like really twitchy about it. Now that I've gotten monetization on my videos, I was thinking of doing a couple like video essays about Hotline Miami, and one of them was going to be in defense of Hotline Miami 2's level design, kind of showing that it's not it's not bad, and people being like you have to bait. That's just not true. You just have to get better so you can rely on yourself more. Shotgun dodging. Yeah, shotgun dodging. Like, shotguns are really easy to dodge. Their bullets go super slow. Not the double barrel. Double barrel's a bit different, but the main shotgun, it's really not an issue. And yeah, after seeing the lukewarm response to Ranger, it's only made me more nervous about Human Being, because I'm trying to persuade a more difficulty focused like campaign with something that you're gonna have to be good at if you want to get through it. Because I mean, otherwise it's boring to me. Ozzy's an amazing level. I'm looking forward to showing you guys what I worked on for the current level, which I don't know if I want to spoil it for you, but I don't know how many people are watching right now. I think it's a really fun idea, but it's for the hard mode gauntlet, so it's going to be an optional thing. It's a very strange choice of music for this level, though. Like some of it fits. This is weird to me. Like, you're supposed to be doing a lot of murder and a lot of killing, and it's just kind of. It's like I woke up and I put my slippers on in the morning. Yeah, could you see that little baiting I did there? Because there's glass. Like, that's not bad. That's a very quick bait. That's just kind of using your footwork. Bad baiting is... Oh, there's actually no one here. I can no longer do it. I feel like I've made my point good enough. The only time I struggled beating a hard mode level was Dead Ahead, mostly because the 4th floor was insane. Yeah, I went back and replayed it yesterday to prove a point that it's not that hard, but it's just kind of a matter of like being able to clear the first couple of ice rooms quietly before you bait everybody. So you don't want to aggro everybody. I think it's the same dude that we shot already. Or is this a campaign that's out of order? Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the story. I mean, some people said it was a good story. I thought it was okay. The gang versus the mafia kind of deal, never that interesting. And I guess they're adding some more subterfuge with these dudes. I don't know, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. Zatrix. Hole back there. That was a goddamn hell. Not sure what you... Oh, that was a goddamn hellhole back there. Okay, I guess you're referring to hard mode. It's definitely not the best. I was trying to path it, see if there was a way to like do it running and gunning. There really isn't. You just have to bring a melee weapon, clear the couple dudes around you before you have enough ammo to stop all those fats from coming. I almost wonder if there was the glitch when it mirrored everything, and they just didn't feel like fixing it. It was a bizarre choice. Hi, Connor. Connor and I are going to France soon. This is going to be probably my last stream. I could probably fit in one more because I'm leaving the 6th. And we are going to France for the rest of the month, really. The rest of July. And that'll be cool. I'll probably make a video because they're going to be filming a lot. But yeah, it kind of sucks because we're like 3 weeks from not being able to work on Human Being. Yeah, he got me into Hotline Miami. Yep, I did. He was at my house the other day, and I was playing No Mercy hard mode, and he was like, let me try this, and it just took him like 50 minutes to get through it all, because he'd never touched Hotline Miami before, and No Mercy hard mode was a deep end to throw him into. But I don't know, I'm impressed. He got through the first game pretty quickly. When he's starting the second game. Hello, Sabins. Alright, no, there goes the combo. Probably during it. Ah! Let's look at the chat. What's the frame rate looking like to you guys right now? How smooth is this footage? I imagine PigFingers it's running very well. Like, I don't even feel slowdown, which is really nice, because that's, like, I've actually been able to play this pretty well. And that's another nice thing about having a level that's so well optimized like this, is I can stream it on my crap top and not even suffer. Like, even with Requiem, there were some bad spots. It looks fine, alright. I think No Mercy is the point on whether you like the game or not. Yeah, the first... That was, like, one of the first that really fucked with me. Same with the first Evan level. Partly because, like, learning the mechanics was difficult. That first time around, but still, first trial is the hardest Evan level, like, by far. First trial is the hardest Evan level. Just that both of those floors are just huge hallways and dudes off screen, and it's not like you can deal with dudes very well at range with Evan. It was one hell of a thing to drop you into. But I remember, because I could just clear the first game right before the second one came out. I could just clear it out like nobody's business. I got someone's attention. No. This is... I kind of remember this. I don't remember this. Is this... Fuck me. Alright. Here we go. The Fallout level, it's gonna absolutely destroy your frames. Oh, I bet. Are you gonna do like custom assets? Because like I was looking at screenshots, Plank, and like I didn't see any like custom assets. Because I think it'd be cool to like try to get the Fallout computers. Like they have a lot of really recognizable items, like the Nuka-Cola vending machine and whatnot. That would probably be pretty cool to make. Really solidify that it's Fallout. I remember planning on doing a Fallout thing a long time ago, and I wanted like the fat to be super mutants. Doing my dance. So he's the traitor. I like how no nonsense this Ed guy is. He's like, you lied to me again. I'm fucking crush your fucking skull. Later in the campaign, he lies to him, and he crushes his fucking skull. Is he still dancing? Oh, he's not dancing anymore. Okay. Also, this is a really great score soundtrack. I got like the way it kind of builds up. That's how you want to do a score soundtrack. Alright, this is the first crazy cutscene we get from here. Discard useless bastard. What are the song names, by the way? Might use some. It's all part of the same like Neo Tokyo soundtrack for like some sort of shooter. I'm honestly not sure. Anyway, so the way they do that is it's kind of complicated, so bear with me here. So basically, when you walk to the bed, the character turned invisible, and they didn't change the sprite and have him lie in the bed. It was a different NPC turned into the dude lying on the bed, whereas the player character turned invisible and started walking upwards, which is why the camera panned upwards, but he's invisible. And then, or, no, there's no way he could have go. So the camera pans upward because there's got to be like an invisible NPC, because otherwise you see his legs. So it goes down, goes into a hidden elevator that you can't see. And elevator you can't see, and that is how you do those transitions. I got a guide on it. It's so well done here. Neo Tokyo is still being played. I don't know. Is it a first-person shooter? I've actually never looked it up. You're a lost cause. But you don't really think you have a hand in this game, do you? Yeah, so the Richard here, he just kind of deconstructs the person, tells them their shit, gives them some foreboding stuff. That's kind of how main game did it too. Guess I'm supposed to follow him. That's interesting. So maybe the goers just don't show up with this filter on? I've actually never bothered to use this filter. How many fucking stairs are there? You got a lot of stairs to get through, bud. Hey, there's the line. Of course I do. Leave the message on your answering machine. So he's asking mostly the same questions. Can't see through. You're right. Your environment demands nothing of you, and you persist solely on the little fulfillment you get from this life. You're already prepared for this. Ah, they're so well done. Yeah, so he's the weirdo leaving answer machines. I love the way his eyes go up like this. Yeah, the PigFingers Richard is probably one of the best. I love, like, later on, like, he'll be making the clicking noises. It's hilarious. simple route this time. His plan is, I don't know, just shoot dudes. I feel like I'm not smart enough for this story. Click! Yep. Hey, this looks familiar, doesn't it? Oh yeah, this is the bad guy lair. Or I guess not bad guy, this is a gang, Scottish gangs. I don't know, this is compact. Koala Squad, roll out. Hey, that's a callback to Deep Red. Yeah, looking back at that stream, I can't believe so many people didn't say anything about how, like, a lot of people did complain, but like, I can't believe anyone sat through that campaign. Like, it's incredibly choppy. Like, that campaign stream, it's incredibly unwatchable. When I get my new computer, I might actually replay it. To like, so we have like documented Deep Red that's like not, that's like actually viewable. To sum it up, it is all about awesome plot, sprites, OST, but 2 poor levels. Their simplicity may be a little sweet. Well, that's why they didn't gain like a bunch of attention, is because the levels pretty easily dismissible as like just trash houses, and they are. Most of them are just trash houses, but they're deliberate, and the way they're planned out is really nice. And I'm getting like D pluses on these. I need to start upping my combo. HD remastered Deep Red. Yeah, this is gonna be a while. How about Scrambled Eggs Volume 1? Maybe. I want the whole series to come out. Scrambled Eggs Volume 2, which I don't know if it's gonna happen. Oh hey, another cool cutscene. Chief puts on the mask. Yeah, and like doing animations, people say it's hard to do, and I think I figured it out. It's just, one, make sure the NPC actually does it, but 2, like, you can change the NPC to the sprite that has the animation. So you can have like unarmed walk, and then in the same like as what it is when it starts, and then change it to like, I don't know, put on mask, and have it animate in the same frame. So, but then what you want to do is you got to loop it. That's the best way to get it to work, is have it loop, but then keep the wait for that frame a perfect time, so it loops once, then in that frame, and then tell the animation to stop animating. It's it's a headache. Still killing people after all. The mere fact that you fight is not something to be concerned with. You remind me of someone, in fact. Someone who looks just like you, without his beard. As long as you don't lose sight of why you're doing the things you do. Hopefully you'll meet the same And he did. I like Hotline Miami 1 more for the experience, but the second one seems like much more solid gameplay, of course. The level editor. Yeah, I've said that the second game is a better video game, but the first one is a better experience. Like, your first time playing through the first game with, like, its really well self-contained story, it just works a lot. It's hard to say. Like, it's just, if you're gonna have to choose one or the other, play the first game. But if you want to like get into the series, then obviously you need to play the second game and acknowledge that gameplay-wise, it is way more superior. And I like the story a lot too in the second game, but compared to the first, it just kind of leaves you confused, like more so. And your first playthrough will probably frustrate you a good deal. So this guy just spawned with, you know what, never mind. So I was confused how we spawned with a weapon with ammo, but I imagine this is just jacket with the Richter mask. That's gotta be what it is. Like, it's strange, like he barely fills anything with furniture. Oh, this has actually got a lot of furniture. But then he'll go through the trouble to notepad in the correct, like, stairwell. See, he's got the notepad walls in. Here comes the jacket recolor. Yeah, I guess it is just a recolor. Like, it's just his hair's turned to color. Yeah, the first one I can't count all the times I walked through an enemy. Got murdered. Yeah, it's crazy going back to it. Like, the first time I went back to it after playing the second game heavily, I was like really taken away. Like, I didn't realize just how different they were in terms of gameplay. They're totally different. To me, the second game story is really, really dumb. It's not dumb. You're dumb if you think it's dumb. But that was rude. The second game story is not dumb. You gotta qualify these like statements, these controversial opinions that you always give out. You gotta qualify them with something. You know, especially level editor. A lot of game recycles a lot of sprites and assets. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was made by two guys. And the level editor, of course, is going to recycle some assets because it's a level editor. And, you know, someone making some fun levels in their free time, they're just going to utilize the assets they have available to them. You'd have to be a madman to create tons of new assets, like I am. Yeah. And second game story is not dumb. If you wanna, if you don't know what it means, and that's why you're calling it dumb, you can find some really good essays about it on the wiki. Tony Chan's written a lot of good stuff about talking about how it's good. Like, there's a lot of thought and love put into the story of the second game, and they haven't even told us the whole thing. My opinion on MA still being good was controversial. Oh boy, we're bringing in MA. Yeah, I just wish MA could be forgotten. I just want it gone. I don't want it ever to come up again. Don't want to think about MA. I think it gets brought up. Well, the thing, what's frustrating with MA at this point is we'll never have a standalone mod ever to be created where someone doesn't go, yeah, don't be like Midnight Animal. Has this got anime in it? It's just like the thick skin jokes. It was fun to meme on for a while, but it's dead now. MA is gone. There is no more. I think the Mafia Fats should have had white suits. It was a strange choice to me for them not doing. Like, what fucked it up is they didn't bother giving the Colombians different colored looking Fats. And so, like, essentially the Colombians and the Mafia have a truce in the 80s, in the late 80s. So all the levels with Mafia in them, they've got a truce going, except for the fans level, I guess. That's where it's kind of inconsistent. But in the first game, they were there just for visual standpoint, because like it's a totally different enemy. You can't kill him with melee. So not only is he a different silhouette, but he's also completely different colors, being black and purple instead of white and blue. So, oh, I just throat ripped. Nice. So I think it would have been smart for them to give the Colombians a different colored Fat. But I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Because yeah, I just realized that because we've hypothesized before that they're trying to talk about there's a truce with the Colombians and the Mafia, with the Mafia clearly being on top, so the Colombians will have, give them their Fats. Alright, cool. To be fair, if it wasn't MA, it would still be redialed. Maybe. It's not... Redial wasn't nearly as, like, public of a explosion. Like, the people deep in the community knew about how crazy Redial was, but, like, hell, I missed that. I've had to just have that story relayed. Whereas Midnight Animal was, like, everyone knew about it. It was very public meltdown. Very public, with, like, having its own Steam page, and then having its Steam page art put up, and everyone's like, what the fuck am I looking at? What's the actual point of making anything, anyways? The Colombians give them their fans. You know what I mean. It's... For gameplay reasons, you always have to make some exceptions to the story. But I would have given the Colombians different Fats if I was making this game. Why did Gotta Get a Grip become a meme? Because it's a ridiculous moment in the game where its mouth unhinges. Like, it was a very huge set piece. Oh, watch him snort cocaine. Woo! That is so cool looking. Yeah, so he's high as fuck. I think the 4th chapter when the bomb room goes off and kills the guy with the tiny mask. Yeah, I mean, that's clearly what it's implying. Sniff. Unless you're making fun of me with my sniffles. I just got over having a 24-hour bug. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, I woke up and my nose was just on fire, and I was just bleeding snot everywhere. And the second day I woke up hoping to be better, but not only is my nose stuffed to shit, I was just pissing out of my asshole. It was miserable. That's why the stream got delayed to today. But I feel fine today. Just a little sniffly still. I just like all the attention and detail to the throwbacks. Yeah, and if you notice the tattoo artist that denies the tattoo to Jake, his name is Tony. Like, his little tattoo sign says Tony's Tattoos or whatever. So the theory is that dude was the 50 Blessings member that got exploded in level 4. I think it's called Tension. Hey Rob, how's life? Going good. As I said, just got over ass pissing. Or this fire will swallow you whole. I don't know. He gave some sort of important words, but not listening. Oof. Is this... Oh, okay. Yeah, this is snipers. This is a better way to do it than a lot of others do. Because a lot of people will have levels that the main entrance, there's like no conceivable way you can get through. But those aren't turret enemies. Those are actually, like, enemies. So you have to, like, go through the back door and clear everything. Which is alright. What makes it annoying game design is that you have to do this trek every single life. This is a good way to do it. The way you just walk past them, be like, fuck you. I'm going to the back door. He canceled Jake's tattoo the day that Tension happened. So, like, right after that, does he go, like, right after his work shift, he goes and gets tied up and exploded? That's pretty cool. Jake calls him a Russian, though. Oh, I don't know, he didn't really look Russian to me. They had red hair. I don't know, do Russians have gingers? Is that a thing? Today I learned tattoo, guys. Tony. I'm pretty sure it's on the wiki. That's where I first read it. Tony Chan has got the most encyclopedia knowledge of the whole main game, so have to ask him really. Jake calls everyone a Russian. I guess that makes sense. It's just a slur to him. Jake. He's a commie BC. He won't give him a tattoo without an appointment. Fuck. Why were you mad that Pardo killed Tony? I'm not sure the context of that one. These final levels actually do give you some resistance too, which is what I like. It's not just a bunch of, like, compact rooms. Openness to them. How you say many times on your first run you were mad that Pardo killed Tony? I'm missing out, chat. Chat's going fast today. That's good. I was mad because up to that moment I liked Pardo. Yeah, like, I mean, it was kind of a shitty thing for Pardo to do. I thought he was like a good guy. Like, I didn't discover that he had a body in the trunk. I didn't think that he was the Mammy Mutilator at that point. And so, like, and I like Tony's visual design, and I thought the fans were like the main characters. And then I was just shocked that they got all killed off like that. And I'm like this early into the game, only halfway through, and I'm still confused because there's not a single plot line. Like, I don't know what the goal was of the fans, and I mean the point is they didn't have a goal. So Pardo just shot one of the characters, just like the only one that survived, and I don't want them to die. I wanted the fans to do something. Come on. I didn't realize that Tony, I'm guessing you mean Pardo, was a serial killer till I read the wiki. I mean, they flat out tell you that Pardo is the Miami Mutilator in one of the dream sequences. But I still didn't really understand what the point of the puppet guy was at first. And I wasn't sure if maybe he was just dreaming that he was the Miami Mutilator because he was going after him. I mean, it makes sense when you really, like, apply logic to the story, but on a first playthrough, when you don't pick up all the details, it's a dense story. It requires multiple playthroughs or watching a couple of videos to, like, really explain it to you. Could just watch Squatch's Gaming's videos, and that'll explain it. While I make fun of it, they're actually good tools, if you don't want to, like, scour the wiki. Biker probably could have survived, got out of Miami in time. Yeah, like the whole biker being dead or alive at the same time, it's kind of another one of their themes of like, it doesn't actually matter. It's like, because like you actually see him at the first trial courthouse too. He's just chilling there at Biker's trial with all the protesters around and whatnot. You know. And another reason I thought the story was really cool is that there's just so much going on that's just visually told to you. Like, never really exactly go over the, like, Jacket has fans and he has protesters. Like, a lot of Schrodinger's biker. That kind of is the case with him. He is... Fuck. I'm never gonna get out of this floor. I don't really why people want to need more from Martin Brown. He exists to illustrates the main game's things very clearly. Yeah, he's just kind of there to be like, this is like the serial killer aspect of Jacket is fake. We're not about gratuitous violence, so we're gonna kill him. And like a very I forget his name, but it was the Bruce Lee's son in The Crow. And he just gets fucking shot. Fuck this guy. Yeah. And while I think the subversion of expectations video from that one dude that I was talking about earlier, fuck, what's his name? Swatch Gaming. It's a little simplistic. It does show a lot of good spots where it like the promotional material and just everything we've been taught up to this point is they're trying to subvert it. Yeah, gotcha, bitch. My favorite one is the showing that the henchman is like lower on the totem pole by having you walk around a fancier car. Because like you're always trying to just walk up to the car. Rob gets shot as soon as Rob says he got shot. Oh, okay. He's talking about gameplay. Come on, boys. I can't believe Australia just outright banned him. Yeah, Australia just doesn't understand video games. I remember Total Biscuit, may he rest in peace, was talking about how the movie Limitless was given an R rating and approved for audiences, and it was like some Bradley Cooper movie about like it utilized that myth that you only use 10% of your brain, and so like he took a drug to give him full control, and it was like a hardcore drug. It had bad symptoms and memory loss and all this other shit, and like in the end he like is running for president still on the drug or something. Like it all ends well for him despite the fact he does all this drugs. But then Saints Row 4, as a joke, you smoke crack out of a light bulb, like as like a power-up thing, and they banned it for that. Because it was like promoting drug use, and it was like clearly making fun of how trashy the protagonist used to be in the first game. So Australia's a bunch of retards when it comes to video games. Fuck. I think Australia will be banned twice after the infant mod. Oh yeah, I played with that recently. It's really funny actually. The little infant mod. I like that he did all the cutscene stuff too, and like gave it like the kid like struggles to get the telephone off the hook and whatnot. It really was actually a pretty cute little mod. The most weird thing about it is that like when you pick up an AK and stuff, it shrinks dramatically, and even though it's still huge to the infant, like I don't know, maybe it just couldn't fit it in the correct size. But yeah, I like his mods a lot. I hate how they let GTA games stay, but there's obviously a ban off variants of them. Yeah, did they allow GTA 5? I don't know, I mean, it could just be a corrupt system where you gotta pay them off. But Dinaton's responsive, just fucking pirate it, lol. Like, I love that. Unfortunately, it gives Australians some issues with the level editor. What about that Nazi Pardo mod? Yeah, that got deleted. Yeah, I mean, shoot, I forget his name. I mean, that was stupid. Like, edgy tee-hee kind of thing. If you're that bored and want a sprite, contact me. I'll give you some fucking work. Danny Judas says, Martin strictly states that if you don't make your own path through life, then it will lead to your demise, and it will amount to nothing. Follow the script. There you go. Life lessons. That's a very good way to frame his story. The funny Nazi Pardo mod. It's so funny. Yeah, well, like, Evan is Hitler, it wasn't trying to be edgy. It was a joke. It was the absurdity of it. That there were a bunch of Evan clones becoming the worst people of history. Or this is just, you're literally part of the Nazi. Nope. Stalin Evan mod win. Evan as Hitler was hilarious. I'm glad you liked that. He like I just like the idea of it being unexpectedly clearly Evan. But he's got the little mustache instead of sideburns. I see a Napoleon Evan. Penis shit Evan. It starts with Evan throwing dudes out of helicopters. Actually, I really like that. I might actually have to do something with penis shit. And this is not confirmed at all. This is just pie in the sky ideas. That if I wanted to continue that idea, I'd want to take it to ancient Rome. because I think ancient Rome's a really cool like location. Obviously, it hasn't been used in Hotline Miami. And then like the whole thing would be Evan is Nero, and he's given all the soldiers guns since they can't just have it melee only. Sobbing. Click, 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 click. Yeah, I could do Caesar Evan too. I think Nero's more of a bastard than Caesar or Caesar, however you want to be about it. Pinochet Evan, I don't think I could make a whole campaign out of that, but like as a one-off, like he was one of the ones that they killed earlier. It was Pinochet Evan. I do like. I'm gonna write that down after this. Ancient Rome fits very well with other dance. Yeah, Caesar was good. Zaya hot take fanboy. Focusing back on this campaign, I really like how the cops are like period appropriate, and I don't see it here, but they at one point the police cars, like you can see them and they have like the correct markings for the UK. But yeah, I recently played Rise, which is a pretty basic, like essentially it was like Call of Duty but in Rome, and like really basic hack and slasher. But I really liked the look of it. Story was retarded, but just like going through Rome and seeing the environments, that was cool, and it made me want to do Rome. It was really short too. It took me like 2 play sessions. Government doesn't give a shit. I actually do not recognize this. Oops. Bizamungtu. Did you like Reagan too, Zaya? Did you like Jimmy Carter too? I'm gonna look up who Bizamungu was. I imagine he was like, I'm not gonna make any assumptions. B-I-Z-I-M in Austin Bizamungu. Augustine. Oh, he's from Rwanda. Oh, is this a Rwanda genocide? Yep, Rwanda genocide. Edgy. I doubt I would do that. I had a one-off thing where like Hammer and Pardo are like telling stories, or I guess Pardo's dead, but like Hammer's telling stories about when him and Pardo were like doing a bunch of crazy things between Hotline Miami 1 and 2, and one part was like, yeah, and like for a week we became the dictators of Angola. Jimmy Carter was awesome. Shut your mouth, Plank. There was an open world Hotline mod, I think. Yeah, it was canceled though, because that dude wasn't able to work on it. He had real life stuff to come up. But it was a cool idea. And I don't know, maybe with Wrong Engine we could see something work out with that. I don't know know enough about Wrong Engine to think that an open world would be work. Maybe like a Castlevania thing. It was just larger things. This one's got gun dodgers again. Open World was on Unity, but the dev's company went bankrupt, sadly. He had a company? It's interesting, though. This guy's gonna shoot me as soon as I try to do anything. I feel bad for Hammerin, kind of, because you can find his pixelated little chin face more than you can find his music. I think he wants to do more serious things with his career now. Well, they put him in the game. That's the whole thing. It's like, hey, here's Hammerin, use him. And then they got mad when I used him. There we go. Got your bitch. There's like videos of him, and maybe I'll share it someplace. Like, I want people to see it. It really is funny, of him like at festivals just like singing in the streets with people, and he's like some song, it's called Animal Farm, and like he's like using squeaky pigs and squeaky chickens and like using them into the mic as instruments, and it's hilarious. They are portraits. Yeah, RISF, yet there is no such force in the UK. Yeah, obviously, this is like some sort of like evil government conspiracy thing. The Spec Ops guys. No, they're not very good at being Spec Ops, as this angry bald man is demolishing them. Whoa! Damn it. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Alright. The hammer holding his chicken. Yeah, it really is a funny video, but it's only got like 400 views. I like somehow found it going down a rabbit hole of hammer and stuff. Can I get shot at? Fucking guy. Is he still having trouble with the music rights or something? I'm not sure why he's not. This is a couple years ago now that he deleted all his music, and he said it was hard to find like music contracts because of like his old music being like lo-fi, which I didn't really think. I love his old music. It was very bizarre to me of that being an issue. Because I thought his early music was good. Maybe it was the music videos being goofy, but like Stranger in the Face of Love just sounds like a great song. I emailed him at one point because I wanted Stranger in the Face of Love for the Human Being music mod, and like it was there the day that I started working on it, like on the music mod, and by the time I got to that song and needing to download it, it was removed. And so like I was like looking everywhere for it. I ended up buying it on iTunes and like downloading the iTunes app on my computer so I could like port the song to my computer. It was a fucking headache, but I remember emailing him being like, yo, what the fuck? I didn't say it like that. And so he was like, yeah, the music industry in Sweden is insane, and this stuff will scare off producers, so I have to delete it. So part of me wonders if I've ruined Hammerin's career having a whole bunch of HM Hammerin sprite stuff and whatnot. His stuff is now back on SoundCloud. Maybe he's given up being in the music industry, which is sad, but you know, it's a hard industry to get into. Near impossible. But he had a lot of talent. I liked him. I like his music. He's a funny character too. The video of him playing with the like using the chicken being Animal Farm. I'll find it once I'm done with this campaign. Someone remind me. It really is funny. And like there's a dude like doing stuff with like a balloon, and then it pops on him on accident, and he's like he just kind of like throws it away because he wasn't expecting it. There's a lot of like visual humor or physical humor in that video. Yeah, the point of Hotline Miami 2's ending is to tell you. Good old Danny. Good old Danny being a philosopher. killed a man's career. They put him in the game, damn it. I didn't know anything. Now it's too late. I've branded myself. Like, I've actually, despite being one of the larger, like, Hollow Mammy 2 figures, like, their community figures, making stuff, never made my own character. I've always used either Pardo or Hamrin or some other sort, or someone else's mod. I played your Juarez one map for Human Being 3, and I can tell you there's gonna be a lot of sombreros. Yep. Yeah. The level just called 1 is definitely not gonna exist in the game anymore. That is gone. It was like, it had been a couple months since I worked on a level, and so it was like me starting out. It's still gonna open up with an Evan level. Damn it, couldn't find a melee weapon in time. Unmodded campaigns are possible to make. Yeah. Yeah, 9 lives. Yeah, that was made by the same dude who did the infant. I've actually never made my own original character. Even Human Being 3, like I'm using Rad Cop, Jackie May, and the story was written over a year ago at this point, which is a good bit of it. And I've got confidence in myself now to make my own OC. Just haven't done it yet. Maybe in future projects once Human Being is out, but I don't even want to think about those till I can get this thing done. Whoops. Maybe paying more attention to this. It's hard to see with all this darkness. I got my window glaring in. I'm gonna have to do something smart to get that gun dodger. Just give me a gun. Henchman was a good character to have, but he was just kind of insignificant though. I feel bad for him because he got killed so fast, and his wife sucked bucknut. Yeah, I mean that was kind of the point of his character though, is just to give a little bit of personality to the Mafians that you've been slaughtering. Didn't you make more than one Jackie level? I think you made Hooked, or Hooker, or whatever it was called. And then we got those really cool Dr. Wizard ones where, like, there's a meth lab and, like, the enemies have... Some of the enemies have the meth suits. Just all around impressive. Hooked was biker level? Okay. I don't know all your levels, Blink. I'm sorry. Shoot me. Splat. Ah, that's beautiful. I want to create a comedy campaign about Pardo and Evan wandering through the nuclear wastelands. Is that a good idea or not? It will have several 2015-esque jokes, though. The 2015-esque jokes don't sound good, but Manny and Evan shenanigans are always fun. Don't have thick-skin jokes or gotta get a grip jokes. Those aren't even jokes anymore. They just hurt. Angry. Look. I think he could have done the angry red eyes a bit better. It is cool. It's actually a really good Tony level. It's about to come up here. Oops. He looks high on crack with those eyes. Yeah. Where am I? Oh. Alright. This is a really good layout to base a Tony level off of, where you don't have to heavily bait the gun guys. That wasn't really a bait. That wasn't a boring bait, at least. That was the good kind of baiting. Hey. The distance can be covered pretty easily by Tony. Yeah, there aren't any doors either. There's gotta be a deliberate reason for that too, I guess. Because if you're gonna be ambushing people in door frames, you wanna knock them down. Nothing's more frustrating than trying to full combo something and the idiot AI knock themselves over with a door. And you didn't even want them to. Whoa! So you play as Tony and you don't have doors, so the game won't crash when you try to execute the policeman enemy. Ah, that makes sense. There you go. I didn't even really realize that. Good call, dude. Unfortunately, that also makes it so you can only take one bullet before dying. So, one thing that they never communicate is that you've seen your character take a bullet before, and the way you replenish that ability is by executing. Hello. Hello. This is bad baiting. Oh. There we go. I think it's better that way. Ah, good old Pardo. Oh, Pardo. Yeah, it is very Final Cutty. That's clearly what it was based off of. You can get more health by executing. Yeah, it replenishes your ability to take that one extra shot. It sounds like Half-Life music. More than... I guess because it was a source mod. Fun fact, that's not a deliberate game design choice. No? Was that an accident? Is that a glitch, Danny? Human Being 3 will be... I'm going for fair but hard. It's because the player character rolls a random health value every time it's created. Huh. So... That's... So, are you saying it's not guaranteed that if you execute someone you get your hit point back? Because I thought it was. And me kind of playing around with it, it seemed that way. Maybe it was a deliberate game design choice and that they didn't fix it. Didn't you say your bonus levels would be accessed like hidden VHS tapes done before? I think you said it during the Red Star stream song. It was Snowfall. Very nice video. That's for like standalone mod. I wanted like in like not just combat levels, but like in cutscenes as well. Like if you explore enough, you can find a VHS tape laid around, and that'll be like a bonus level. It's just kind of pie in the sky ideas, because I'm definitely going to be doing stuff with the Wrong Engine once that comes out. Once Human Being is done. I feel like Wrong Engine's going to beat Human Being 3 to release, though. Alright, for characters like Tony, they may have taken away the role and just given him 1 energy on spawn. Yeah, that would make sense. Is Human Being 3 not coming out before October? I got a lot of work to do still. And like literally the last level that I worked on, and that yeah, Ozymandias, call it Ozzy for right now. Ozzy took me 2 months of working on stuff, of like from level design to all the assets I'm created. I feel like that one's took a bit longer than normal because I had to create Jackie May, and then I did all that work with like the excuse me, did all that work with like the mutating enemies. I'm very close to being finished with like reskins. Jaden's supposed to make me one, and I gotta do this. At least 2 more. It just kind of depends on how like focused I am, because for a long time with Human Beings development, it was like something I worked on, but then I played a lot of other video games too. Like if Rainbow Six Siege didn't exist, it'd probably already be out. Got like 600 hours in that game. But the thing is, I don't really want to force myself to work on Human Being 3 when I'm not motivated. Because I never, like, you don't make good things. It's like that. Yeah, so I was shooting for 2019 for Human Being 3. So So that'll be interesting. That'll be competing with early Wrong Engine mods at that point, probably. I have considered just canning Human Being 3's workshop release and just making it like taking what I've worked on, porting it into the Wrong Engine, and that still might not be completely out of the realm of possibilities. Rob, get a work ethic. Falls out of the cabinet. Well, the door isn't open, I don't think. Spooky, like actually spooky cutscene there. When I first play it, I love it. We have a hammer to Pardo mod. Makes sense. Kind of takes away what makes Pardo so lovable, though. But it does let him fight more factions. Already, he can fight the most. Like, I guess there's people that are on par with him, I think. But, like, being able to fight 3 factions is really good for a default character, not counting hammering. R.I.P. Chief. Lego is sometimes on the edge of burning out due to his work ethic. Yeah, like, if I don't feel like doing it, I don't really do it. I feel like that'll just result in bad work. Especially since I'm not doing this for money. Like, the only reason that I would want to hurry with Human Being, besides so I can work on other projects, would be because I'm worried that the level editor is just going to die one day. That people are just going to fall out of interest with it. There's not going to be a community left to give it to. But, I mean, the community survived this long. Red Star definitely helped revitalize it. Like, you can see when, a couple days after Red Star's launch, all my workshop stuff has a small little bump up too, because it brought more people to check out the workshop. And what helped is the Twitter account reposting him, which I would love if happened to Human Being. Get some sort of recognition instead of steamed hams. Yeah, the level editor is what made the HM community live. Yeah, that's for sure. Like, because how the mod tools were, it would have been a lot harder to keep people active. So yeah, it was nice having a level editor. But I mean, it can only go for so long, and we're just not getting much anymore. Like, we got Red Star, and that was like the first quality thing we've gotten this year. And it might be the only thing if Human Being doesn't come out. I mean, we're getting Cryo from Yassirian as soon as he gets the last, like, he's got it finished. He just needs to get his music mod sorted out and approved. So that'll be good. But we're not getting a lot. There's just people. I'd like to have a bunch of, like, 2016 type campaigns. And we're getting single levels still. But I think a lot of the big people who are like, they've moved on to either modding or just left. Like, I know Dr. Wizard's working on a mod. Crossross is like just helping other people with mods. Lego's only got one more shorter project in him before he's moving on to Patriots, which is a mod, sorta. Standalone game, actually. 2018, the year of... yeah, maybe I'm forgetting another good thing that we got this year. What other than Red Star have we gotten that was good? That was like a campaign. Don't meme on me. Yeah. Well, not being able to edit the code, you're eventually just going to run out because there's only so many different like gameplay variations you can come up with. Human Being 3's got a lot of like trying to push the envelope, but it's mostly just taking advantage of glitches more than like actually new gameplay. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it's a big thing that I've been focusing on. It's not just only levels of go into the room and shoot the dudes. It's mostly that though, because that's what Hollow Mammy is. Red Star could have been its own game, sorta. I mean, its production value is really good, but whoa. Rob, would you agree to test my crap if I come back? It kind of depends. Some people I've been like, okay, I'll test your level, and then like the next day they'll make some small adjustments and ask me to play it again. And it's like, I'm not here to wait on you hands and feet. I'll give it a shot. It also needs to be good quality. Like some people are like, hey, will you play test my thing? And it's rough, and it's like clearly not on par with good content we see here. So it depends. RS is better than the original Hotline Miami 2. Changed my mind. Its level design's really boring. That's my first go-to, is that it doesn't require a brain to finish it. Its story, while good, is not as interesting or like has all the themes behind it that the first game does, or the second game does. It's only got one location. Oh, I guess two, going back to Russia. And like, you don't need to have people playtest your stuff either. Anyways, like if you're gonna be hung up on I don't have anyone to playtest my stuff, that's why I'm not gonna release anything. I mean, I think that's kind of a bad. I think that's just an excuse at that point. You should just release it and see what people is. I mean, I liked Red Star. I probably would have paid like $5 or so for Red Star if it had been for sale, but it wasn't going to be as everlasting as the main game. It's like nothing I've ever created has either. It's because I mean, it might sound harsh that I'm shitting on Red Star. I'm not shitting on Red Star. Red Star is really good. It's just Hotline Miami 2 is the best game that is my favorite game of all time. Like, I've never had a game I liked more than Hotline Miami 2. So I hope PopCap campaign is released this year. I saw he was working on a Swamp single level. I wasn't aware that he was working on a campaign. Patriots is the American put man. Yeah. I still play Human Being 2 a lot. Do you like Clockwork Orange or not? And what's your favorite movie? I like Clockwork Orange. I like a lot of Kubrick stuff. It's my favorite movie. I mean, my go-to is just the new Mad Max. It's got that feel of like classic 80s Orion movies, while also being modern and just an actual spectacle. I saw it in the theaters and was just blown away by just how well everything was put together. And it really makes me angry that they're not making a second one because of contract disputes. Like, I forget think it's Paramount. I forget which company published and funded the movie, but essentially, like in the contract for George Miller, it was like, if X, Y, and Z happens, you owe me an extra $7 million. And they used some sort of loophole to get out of that, and so they're like, we're not contractually obligated to give you that $7 million. And he's like, well, fuck you, you're supposed to. And so there's still an illegal battle, as far as I remember, about it, which sucks, because like $7 million is not a lot in like movie money. like in that industry. Like, if he makes you a second movie, you'll make more than $7 million. Like, the first one did very well, and a sequel, like, it's only picked up steam since. No one's been like, it's not like a Fallout 4 where people are like, well, in hindsight, it's not as good as we all said it was. It's only more people are liking Mad Max, so really fucking stupid if that's the main reason they're not working on a sequel. Because if I were them, I'd have him work. I'd send him right back to that fucking desert. Make me another one. I don't care what it's about. Just make another movie. I would like to see a Parker Redux, actually. Sorta. I mean, are they going to redux the dialogue? Fuck you. Fucking dodgers. Gun dodgers. You really got to be careful when you use gun dodgers. Can really fuck your day up unfairly because they're full of glitchings. Movie industry capsizing. No one can afford to write a $7 million check when the movies themselves cost $500 million and are still failing in theaters. Yeah. My 1990s games, Bethesda ruined everything. I like Fallout 3 New Vegas a ton. They're some of my favorite video games. It was just 4 was boring, I guess. I didn't like the new art style, and I did not like the voice protagonist, because it made role playing impossible. The game was focused more on like just being a first person shooter with exploration, and I don't know, like the story just kind of treats you like a retard. And then you got Preston Garvey. Another settlement needs your help. It is a boring game. But I played a good bit of it. Just looking back, it wasn't as good as an experience as like 3. Oops. I'd hope they do like a New Vegas of Fallout 4, like where they give a company that knows how to make RPGs, but it sounds like they didn't really like, it sounds like they had a little vendetta against Obsidian, possibly because people are like, Obsidian made the better game. But to be fair, Obsidian didn't have to make the game from the ground up. They recycled a lot of mechanics from the one that they had, so they had plenty of time to make RPG stuff and make a lot better fleshed out quests, because they weren't like building the game from the ground up. I actually like Biker more than Jacket. Yeah, Jacket doesn't really have a personality. Biker's cool. Settlement shit gets far less annoying once you take back the castle. You never have to press and Kirby pestering you after that. I remember taking the castle, but I just kind of ignored it because I'd already put so much effort into Sanctuary. I like the idea of like being like, nope, I'm keeping my same house from 200 years ago. It's mine, and I'm gonna fix it. There's a video that you can see of what I did with my settlement. Give me a gun. We need slutty clothes mob for here too. I think we kind of have a couple of those. Yeah, taser. But Country Road song is still good, I guess. I like that it's becoming memed on. I'm not really super interested in Fallout 76. It might just... I have a lot of friends who like Fallout, so we might get to play together to have like a good large team sort of game. Kind of depends. I expect it to be broken as fuck when it first launches. I've got the reins on the this massive eyes. It's such a creepy face, right? I love it. Oh yeah, sorry, I was talking about naked Corey porno. Creepy face sprites. Kind of click through it a bit too fast. Click, 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 click. And I think we beat the game. I think it's just the final. Yeah, the bunker. Yeah, so WhereNet's made this and then gave up. Maybe he's working on a mod, who knows. I wish he would do more, because this was good. He was talented. I like that he did this a lot. And, yeah. Isn't 76 Bethesda's take on Battle Royale bullcrappery? It's not quite a Battle Royale. It looked more like it was more like their version of Rust. Play Hunter Red Star next time? I already did, dude. Wait a minute, aren't you? Okay, so, in this campaign, 50 Blessings hasn't fallen apart. General Senpai. And so, sort of cliffhanger, I don't know. The flag was a symbol on which we painted our true desires. And so yeah, anyways, this was a great campaign. Also, it doesn't require a lot of modding capability to make something like this. Like, he had custom characters, but most of them were recolors. It just took some skill. You can make this. Make larger, open rooms. You don't have to put a lot of shit into it. Come on, make it. Make your own. So yeah. Play it again and play Red Star next time. LOL. Play the Dr. Wizard Saga. I feel like I did play Heather at one point. I feel like I have played some of Dr. Wizard's stuff. But yeah, so I'll probably stream Berlin Blitz. Maybe. I'll figure out something to stream next week. Then I'll be gone for 3 weeks. So yeah, thanks for everybody. Click on the advertisements, give me money, send me super chats. Because now I'm a YouTuber. Officially. Look at that little money symbol. Alright. Well, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.